Hello, Danny Shannon. Thank you for chatting with me, Alina GG, on the Uplift and Inspire Me, Alina GG podcast with Danny Shannon. How are you?
Very good, Alina. I'm very, very good. Thank you. I loved your little intro there. You've been doing this for a little. You've been doing a few podcasts over the. I know you said you
I did a
were into it.
couple. I have just been putting them together, but haven't really popped them up visibly yet.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Where are
So,
you planning on popping them up? I know we had a brief discussion around. I've got this amazing connection over in the US who, he connects you to all the favorite
yeah,
podcasting platforms.
that's
For a
what I'll be
pretty
doing. Yeah, I'll be
yeah.
following your lead 100%. And thank you. When I reached out, you were so kind and in your heart, and you just said, "Yep, I'll help you." And I thought, yes, what a good human. So,
No worries.
yeah.
And secondly, like, have you thought about having a YouTube channel, which I'm sure you have, but specifically for your podcast too? Because there's a couple of things, right? Like, if you use a streaming platform like StreamYard, do you know StreamYard?
No, I'm a newbie. Yeah.
Okay, there's a few
Yeah.
different streaming platforms. So the way I'm doing it, okay, it's a few step process. I stream my interviews live to
Mm-hmm.
Facebook and to YouTube and to LinkedIn.
Oh,
So
yeah.
really getting the most out of it, right? So I'm already getting
Yeah.
my interview out 3 times to those 3 platforms. And
Yeah.
then at the completion of that, I download the video, then I remove the footage and I make it MP3, and then I upload that to Buzzsprout, which is the podcast as well. So it goes 4 times
Yeah.
basically.
That's a great way to do it. I'll 100% be jumping on that train. Yeah. I just started my YouTube. And I've got one interview with my friend Lily who does hypnotherapy. So that's really interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So anyway, today we're gonna really get to the essence of you and Encapsulator and your podcast, Kick the Shit, and all of that. And I noticed when I listened to some of your content that you like to start with people's origin story and where they came from. I don't want to do that today. I want to start with where you are now, what inspires you, and what are you doing? Let's just start for right now. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Yeah, look, Elena, good stuff. I'm absolutely in probably the best position in my entire life, both physically, mentally, and spiritually. You know,
Yeah.
I'm blessed to be 13 and a half years clean and sober since I've had a drink or a drug. I'm a business owner of a very cool, innovative tech startup called Encapsulator, where we allow individuals to record video messages through our expert design programs with on-screen prompt questions that guide the user to create their best videos possible. And I've built myself a bit of a presence on the social media platform. So
Yeah.
I basically just share my stories around the social and emotional impacts that addiction can have on myself and our loved ones.
That's it. On the families as well. I noticed that's a big point for you because they're,
It is.
yeah. And
Absolutely.
I really, I feel that for you. And yeah, so that's cool to speak into that because they can often be the silent witnesses or, standing by, just praying for things to change over a long time. And,
Yeah.
what sort of support do they have, as well, is a question to ask. Do they always
You
get the support they need as well?
Yeah, no, they don't. No way. And like they are the true victims, I believe, like even at my lowest of low, throughout my addiction, like I always had hope I was going to get stoned, and I would pretty much within the next hour or so. But what about my dad, my sister, my brother? They're the ones that is like, and I've been on the other side of it now. Like
Yeah.
I've experienced some of that with a loved one, and it's the most horrible, powerless feeling you can
Yeah.
have, and sometimes those people just need to be heard.
True. Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
so that's
All
one of
right.
my
So
yeah.
let's talk a bit more about Encapsulator. If let's just imagine someone hasn't heard of it or they've just heard of it. What is this? It's an app. It's, you go on the website, there's an app and it's a time capsule and it's a message for your future self. Is that right? And it gets locked away. And like, tell me how that works and what
Yeah,
people get out of that.
yeah, that's cool. Look, I am still learning as I'm growing. But that's a great point. So is that what you got out of it? Is that
That's what I got out of it. Am I right or not?
Yeah, I guess
Kind
you
of?
are spot on. So
Okay.
there is an app and there's also a website. The app, the version 3 of the app will be released in under 2 weeks, which is really, really huge. Exciting for us. I'm really excited to release our version 3, which is a whole new interface and experience for the users. So and what you do is you choose a program. Like we've got 15 programs that exist in there. We've got the wellness over worry. We've got gratitude. We've got the 7 stages of grief. So you might find a program that sort of fits your something you might be going through. Our app is designed to help, break some of the stigma, give you a voice to start talking about some of the internal stuff that you hold on to in a private and secure space.
Fantastic. So yeah, I did get that from it. Like it's about well-being and mental health, and it's not just, for addicts in recovery. It's about all of us, like processing, some big feelings and emotions and grief, and like having that safe space. And sometimes, conventional therapy or counseling or whatever can let you down. If you get the wrong person, it can actually set you back. So I mean, that's a whole other discussion. I don't know if we want to go there right now, but yeah. So I just also curious, like, okay, so actually one thing that came to mind is when I watched one of your videos on Facebook, you were saying, okay, when you're in recovery, be around people on the journey with you. But what if they relapse, and like, what do people do then? Because then they're not being held accountable and they could be dragged down or dragged backwards. So how do you speak into that?
Yeah, sure. Look, people, there's not one person around from my initial group that I got clean with 13 years ago. There's not one person that's still clean from that group I was in rehab with. So that's gonna happen, of course, So don't put all your eggs in one basket is certainly one thing I'd say. Also be thinking about hanging around. Maybe it's hanging around people with, some significant experience and time in recovery too, like it's important to have all aspects. I think, someone who's just entered recovery, they don't want to be hanging around some nerd who's all fully recovered up. Maybe they do, but I feel like you just need a balance always with everything we do. So hanging around some of I call them nerds of recovery. I'm probably one of the nerds, even though I'm definitely a knockabout. But I mean, the thing is, I preach recovery a lot, and so I think you need a safe combination and balance of all of those things together.
Yeah, great, because that's the real world, right? So even with, like, for example, alcohol, if even if you're not a full-blown alcoholic and you're trying to have a break from alcohol, and you go to someone's birthday, you go somewhere, and it's in your face and it's so socially acceptable, and it's like, it's a big thing. And also the other thought that I had was, like, you become the average of the top 5 people you spend time with, right, in life. So if you want if you want to change your, if you want to elevate and uplift your vibration and what you're manifesting in the world, then you want to be hanging out with people who are next level.
Good stuff, Alita. Yeah. Absolutely. Look, I've got this. Here's my formula. 51% nerds of recovery and 49% knockabouts. So
I love it.
And like, I really need the knockabouts as well. And so as long as I put my recovery first, it's like 51% 51% recovery and 49% life. So like, as long as I put my recovery first, I feel like everything else falls into place.
Yes. You mentioned that even before, like, well, parenting, I imagine it's a close second, right? Because I've got 2 kids as well. So I've got 2 daughters. Yeah. So I get it. Yeah. So, but the thing is, it's like that analogy in the airplane with the oxygen mask. You need to put your oxygen mask on first, so you can breathe to be able to rescue your kids. You can't just like pass out and then help them. So yeah, that's really important to top up our own tank. Yeah. In whatever way possible. Yeah, whatever self-care means, it gets bandied around that term, but there's lots of different ways in. And cool. That's great. Yeah, awesome. Okay. So what else? Let's see. Okay, let's talk about your recovery then. Like, I'd love to know your turning point, because I also did see that you tried a dozen times, right, before to get clean. And what was different
49,
about, what was it?
49 times.
49. There you go. The 49, right.
I was literally known on a first name basis at all of our public system hospitals, RPA, St.
What?
Vincent's Hospital, St. Leonard's Hospital, for trying to get clean. And like, but it was Christmas Day, 2009.
Yeah.
That day was the last time I even come close to using, and I haven't. That was my true turning point. That was the day I made a different decision for the first time in my life. I didn't pick up the next drug. I decided I was going to get on. I'd had enough. I was full of shame and guilt from just coming from a family gathering. And I thought, I can't do this. I'm going to not that I thought I'm going to throw it all away. I just thought I'm going to get on. I'm going to buy some heroin. I'm going to buy some cocaine. And I'll probably end up back in rehab, might end up dead, could end up back in jail, or I could get on that bus across the road and I could go back to rehab where they were expecting me. And that day, I didn't get on for the first time in my life. I never even knew I could do that. I made a different decision, and a miracle happened that day. Alina, I never have even come close to picking up another drug since that day. So
Yeah.
that was
Okay.
my turn.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's unpack that a little bit more. So yes, I agree. Change starts with one decision, one different thought, right? Because if we make the same decisions and the same thoughts, we can't expect to create a different reality. It's always going to create the same thing. So you made one different decision. So that's step one. And then step two, you got to open up to receive, right? The miracle. So how did that feel and look for you?
Look, great point. So it wasn't as if just boom, I was fixed, like I've continued to work my ass off every single day,
Yeah.
but that compulsion and like coming so close to picking up again has never happened. But I've continued to work really hard. Like right now, I'm still working really hard. 13 years, 6 months, and 10 days later, I'm still every single day. I put my recovery first. That thing you said before, like anything I put before my recovery, I'm gonna lose it anyway. So like the airplane that goes down with the airbags too. Like so I just put recovery first all the time, and it's been a long slog. Like but it doesn't feel like that anymore. It's just another day in the life of Danny.
Yeah, you seem to be enjoying life, and that's great. Yeah,
I got a
that's
good
cool.
life.
Yeah, awesome. You're really making the most of it. Okay, cool. So what else? So you broke out of Silverwater Jail. Do you want to share that story?
Yeah,
I mean,
sure, no
that's
problem.
like if I was in jail, I'd tell you when to break out as well, because my core value is freedom. So I'd be like, get me out of here.
Good stuff. Yeah, I did. On the 6th of February 2001, I scaled a 24-foot fence with razor wire. I was quite agile then. I think I was like 25 years old. I weighed about 65 kilos. I'm currently 105. But I managed to scale this fence in this one position in the entire jail that the barrel on the top of the fence leaned over. It's hard to explain, but there was one spot I spent about 18 months in that jail, and I was always looking at that spot, and I had this opportunity, and I did scale that fence, and when I was up on top of the fence, I got caught by an officer doing a perimeter search, because it was that night too. I was out of my cell because I was attending this religious event in the visiting area with a bunch of officers and other crims. But yeah, I managed to sneak out and got up on that fence. I had to run in the end and cut myself pretty badly on the razor wire. I jumped off this fence. The police, the squad, were on their way. They chased me down Holker Street. I swam across Parramatta River, bleeding. We had dog squad, water police, helicopters, and I managed to get away. Alina, so a pretty big feat. I managed to get away. I got caught in Western Australia 6 days later on Valentine's Day with my missus and my unborn son, Joshua, who's now 21.
Wow.
So he come on the escape with us, and I got caught on Valentine's Day, and I talk about how romantic it was to get busted on Valentine's Day. Yeah. So yeah, that's been one of the highlights of me sharing my journey on social media, not so much on social media, but in the media. I did a press release a few years ago, and the media jumped on that story big
Oh
time.
yeah,
So
of
I've told it
course.
a million times. But yeah, that's what happened, mate.
Yeah. That reminds me of that story Shantaram. Have you read that book?
Nah, I don't know.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Oh, cool. All right. Well, what else are you up to these days? Like, how can people find you? Where do they go?
Yeah, yeah, look, just Danny Shannon. I'm on social media all under the name Danny Shannon. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. Sorry, yeah,
Great.
everywhere.
Yeah,
So
cool.
yeah, it won't be hard to find me. Just type in Danny Shannon into the search, and but you can check us out at encapsulator.io. Don't go downloading the app just yet, because
Yeah, okay.
the app will be out on the 7th of April
7th of
in, like I
April.
said, about 2 weeks' time, a new version. So, and that'll be a free version available to everyone out there who can get access instantly. That's been one of the big hinders with
Uh-huh.
encapsulators so far. We haven't had a free version. It's really important if you want to get people involved. So
Yeah,
yeah, you
okay.
can find me there. And my days these days, I've got so much on at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to run two businesses. I look after my beautiful 5-year-old daughter. I'm at the gym every day.
Mm-hmm.
Life's really good, man. I've got an
Yeah.
incredible life.
Oh, well, thank you so much for taking this time to share your story
Very
with
well.
me. And yeah, I look forward to yeah, meeting you in person one day. Next time I'm in
What a
Sydney.
great little interview,
Yeah.
Arlena. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share. And just anyone out there who does want to get in contact with me, or if you're struggling from drug and alcohol addiction, and if you feel like there's no more hope, I certainly felt that way, for a long time. And as I said, one day it's like the stars and the planets just aligned, and I stepped through that day and I made a different decision. And
Mm,
like today, my life is incredibly amazing. I live a life beyond my wildest dreams. It's not something I ever thought possible. So do not ever give up, guys, and just hang in
yeah.
there, mate.
Great final thoughts. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank,
See ya.
thank you, Elena.
Bye.
Bye bye.